Okay guys, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a UK Amazon Seller Central account. I'll start off by talking about what you need to have set up and ready to go before you set up the account, and then we'll move on to a full tutorial where I show you exactly how to go about actually setting up the Seller Central account. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the main things you're going to need is you're going to have your limited company set up and all of your company details ready to go. Or if you're operating as a sole trader, you need to have that all set up and done as well. You're going to need your business name, business address. You also need a business phone number. This is totally fine. If you don't have a business phone set up, you can use your personal phone number here. That's fine. You just need a phone number because when you sign into your Seller Central account, there's two-factor authentication set up and Amazon needs to be able to send you a text. Now you can use also the Google Authenticator app if you'd prefer to, but when you initially set this up, it has to be set up with a phone number. You can change that through Authenticator app later on, but you will need a phone number when setting up the account in the first place. You will then need your business bank account already set up so that you can actually use those details. If you're operating as a limited company, you cannot use your personal bank account. This is really, really important. You will need a business bank account set up under the name of the limited company. So make sure you have that all done and ready to go before you actually set up your Seller Central account. You'll also need a form of ID. So this is normally a passport or a driver's license to be able to go through ID verification. And then finally, proof of residential address. So this is really important. You don't need proof of business address at this point when you're registering your Seller Central account. You just need proof of residential address. So having a bank statement at your home address, that's really all you need here. They just ask you for a bank statement or a credit card statement. So once you've got all of this stuff and you're ready to go, let's head over to Amazon and I'll actually show you how to set up step by step your Seller Central account. Okay guys, so what you want to do is you want to come to the Seller Central sign up page that looks like this. I'll put a link to this down in the description of the lesson. And then when you're on this page, all you want to do is just click start selling now. Okay guys, so obviously add in your name here, email address and create a password. In terms of the email address, I wouldn't recommend using a personal email address. Use a business email address. You probably, the majority of you watching this, won't actually have a brand set up already, so you won't be able to create a custom domain email address, but just a standard Gmail address is fine, one created specifically for the business. Obviously, if you have a custom domain email address already set up, then go ahead and use that, whichever one you want to get correspondence into, and also whatever one you want to use to log in, and then click next. You'll then be emailed a security code, which you just need to go over to your email, get, and then enter in here, and then click create your Amazon account. Like I said earlier in the lesson, apart from an email address, you also need a phone number to allow you to do two-factor authentication, where they'll email you a code every time you log in. So make sure this is a phone number that you actually have access to, because every time you sign into the Seller Central account, you'll be sent a verification code. So you can just use your personal number here. That's totally fine. If you've got a business phone set up specifically for your new business, then also you can use that as well. Then you just need to click send OTP, enter in the code, and then click continue. Then what's going to happen is, just like Amazon says, you're going to have to answer a few questions about you and your business, provide details and documents, so any documents that they provide for you to be able to go through the verification process, and then finally you'll be verified and then your account will be set up. So let's go through the process. So first you just need to enter in where your business is registered. I'm actually setting up a new Seller Central account at the moment for a new brand that I'm launching. So I'm going to go through this process properly with you guys. So I'm just going to set United Kingdom. And if you know, this is wherever your business is registered, you formed a company where your company is registered, and then you click save and continue. Okay guys, then you need to tell them what type of business you have. So really the only two options that is going to be the two options that you're looking at is either sole proprietor or privately owned business. It's not going to be stay-on business. Publicly listed is a PLC, unless you have a publicly traded company, which the majority of you won't do. That's not going to be an option. Really, you're either operating as a sole trader or you're operating as a limited company. If you're operating as a sole trader, click sole proprietor. If you're operating as a limited company, then you need to select privately owned business. This is the correct option for limited company, and that's what I'm going to select here. And then as you'll see, guys, it just gives you a little list of things that you need. So you need a government issued ID or passport to go through personal ID verification. Then you need a bank account or credit card statement for address verification. Then you need a chargeable credit or debit card. So Amazon needs both a deposit and a charge method. The charge method is just there for if your account balance ever falls into a negative, then they need to be able to charge you money from either your debit or credit card. Now it says chargeable credit or debit card, and I'll come on to exactly why, what the nuances are here, or why it says chargeable in just a minute. And then finally a mobile phone number, which you will have and you've already used to do that two-factor authentication. So just click I confirm my business location, agree and continue, and then we'll go to the next steps. Okay guys, so just something important to point out is that I'm going through this process as a limited company owner and operating as a limited company. If you're going through the process as a sole trader, this will look a little bit different, but it's pretty self-explanatory, so you shouldn't have any issues doing that. Now, the first thing I'll ask you to do is add in your company name and company number. Under company name, this needs to be exactly what the company name is written out as you registered it, including the LTD or word limited at the end. So enter that in, then your company registered number and your registered business address. If you're using a central London address, this will be the address that you use here. So do not use your home address, use the registered company address in this section here. And then it will autofill the phone number you use for the two-factor authentication as well. And then once you've done that, you can click next. Okay guys, next you need to add in what they call the primary contact information. So this is basically just your details as the person setting up the Seller Central account as the owner of the business. So I won't go through this. This is pretty self-explanatory. Just enter in all of your information here. Then you'll be asked 3 questions. So here it says point of contact is a beneficial owner / director / trustee of the business. So what all it's asking is that the information you've put in here is this point of contact one of the owners of the business? So of course you're going to select yes here. Then automatically it removes the second question. And then the final question that you're asked is the primary contact the only beneficial owner of the business? Now, what you answer here depends on whether you are the only owner of the business. If you are 100% shareholder, you're the only owner of the business, then you can just select yes here. If you're doing this with a partner and there's 2 of you who own the business, maybe 3 of you who own the business together, you've got 3 different shareholders, then obviously you need to select no here. If you're 100% shareholder, you're the only owner of the business, then you'll select yes here, which is what I'm going to do because I'm the 100% shareholder of this new company. Then you just want to say, I confirm all this information and then click next. Okay, so we've done business information, seller information, and now we need to do billing information. So all we need to add in here is a charge method for Amazon. So basically a way for Amazon to charge us either the monthly subscription fee or, like I said, if the account balance drops into a negative for whatever reason, they need to be able to charge us. And then click next. And if you don't have a bank account for your business yet, I'd recommend using Tide. It's super quick and easy to set up a business account with these guys. And if you use the link down in the description, you'll also get £50 completely free added to your account once it's all set up. All you need to do to qualify for that £50 is just make sure to add £100 into the account within the first 30 days of setting up. You don't need to spend that money, but just deposit £100 within the first 30 days, and then they'll deposit £50 completely free in your account. It's literally free money, which is always helpful when you are starting a new business. Okay guys, so now that you've done that billing, what you then need to do is enter in your store details. So the first thing you need to do here is come up with a store name. So if you're wondering what your store name is, let me just show you. So firstly, obviously you've got your company name, you'll have your brand name, and then finally you have your seller store name. Now your seller store name really doesn't matter too much, so don't worry about this at all. The first thing to mention is you can change your Amazon store name whenever you want it, and also very few people actually even see your store name. So let's use New Laxi as an example. So New Laxi is a brand of laptop stands, and if you come onto their listing, the only place a buyer will ever see your store name is when they come over to your listing and they see, they look just here under dispatches from, it says Amazon and sold by, and this will be your store name. So you've got your brand name, which will be visible on the listing, and you also have like a brand store, which buyers can actually click into and see your other products. This has nothing to do with your store name. This is to do with your brand. The only place sellers will see your store name is just in this little section right here. So it's really hardly visible and it can be changed whenever you want it. So don't worry about it too much. If I click into this section, we go to the seller's store. What you'll be able to see here is you'll be able to see the seller's business information. This is completely random. It looks kind of like nonsense because it's a Chinese company. But this is where buyers will be able to see your company information. And that's why I recommend using a virtual central London address. But they'll also be able to see your store name at the top here as well. So like I said, it really doesn't matter too much. But in terms of some ideas for your store name, if you're only going to be selling one brand, then your store name can actually be your brand name. So if your brand name's Tech Lab, why not make your store name also Tech Lab? Absolutely no reason not to do that. If you sell multiple brands and you're going to have a few different brands under the same company, then your store name can just be anything you like. It could be something totally random, or it can be your limited company name. Like I said, whatever you want. I wouldn't worry about this too much at the moment. Just put something here and you can change it, like I said, at any point in the future, super easily, as many times as you want. So don't worry about this too much. The only thing is that the store name needs to be unique. So when you enter a store name in here, it will just tell you whether it's available or not. If it says available, you're good to go. Don't worry about this too much. This is just asking whether you're going to be buying barcodes for your product. Here you can just select no, because we're going to be doing something called GTI and exemption. Don't worry, we'll be talking about this in later lessons, but just select no here. And then it says, do you own a brand, or do you serve an agent or representative or manufacturer of a brand? All you need to do here is just select yes, because you are going to be selling your own private label products. Then next it will say, does your brand have an active registered trademark? Here, just select yes. So now we've given your business information, seller information, billing, and store. The final thing is to go through some verification. So all you need to do here is add in proof of ID and then also proof of address. And this is for your residential address, not for your business address, because this is for the primary contact information. So just something really important to bear in mind when you're uploading that proof of address. I've selected passport, but this is whatever ID form you've selected is what you'll have to upload here. Then for proof of address, what you'll see is you just literally have only two options, normally bank statement or credit card statement. So just choose one of those, upload the statement, and then you can click next. So then once you've uploaded those documents, they just need to verify that you are actually who you say that you are. So you've got two options here. The top option, which says take a photo of your face, they say that this is a quicker option for doing verification. So this is what I'd recommend selecting and then just clicking next. Now, if you click on that top option, what it will do is it will take you to another page where it'll ask you to turn your webcam on and take pictures of your ID, and then also a quick video of your face turning your head in different directions, just so it can verify your ID. Now, once that's completed, it will take you to kind of a final page where normally what it will say is, we've seen all your documents, we just need a couple of days to verify everything. And then what will happen is, hopefully within about 2 to 3 days, that's normally how long it takes, about 48 to 72 hours. So 2 to 3 days, you should get an email telling you that everything, if all goes smoothly, everything's been verified and your Seller Central account is set up. And then of course, you can then sign in and then you will have an active Seller Central account ready to use.